very good morning to one and all. In this lecture, we will discuss the chapter number 6, Life Processes of class 10th, Science. All living things perform certain life processes like growth, excretion, respiration, circulation, etc. The basic functions performed by living organisms for their survival and body maintenance are called life process. Basic life processes are nutrition, respiration, transportation, excretion, etc. Life process requires energy which is provided by nutrition. There are some modes of nutrition. There are two types of nutrition: autotrophic mode of nutrition and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. In autotrophic mode of nutrition, in which organism can synthesize their own food, example green plants and some bacteria also. And in heterotrophic mode of nutrition, the organisms do not possess the ability to synthesize their own food. They depend on autotrophs for their food supply directly or indirectly. Example animals, fungi and etc. Autotrophic nutrition. In autotrophic nutrition, those organisms which can make their own food are known as autotrophs. For example, green plants. Only green plants can make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, the process by which green plants make their own food with the help of carbon dioxide and water in the presence of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is present in the leaf, and sunlight is also called photosynthesis. Raw material for photosynthesis are carbon dioxide and water. Site of photosynthesis: chloroplast in leaf. Chloroplast contain chlorophyll, that is the green pigment. Chlorophyll gives the plant greenish color. Only the green plants make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Main events of photosynthesis: absorption of light energy by chlorophyll, CO2 to carbohydrates, stomata. Tiny pores present on the surface of the leaves are known as stomata. There are some functions of stomata: exchange of gases like O2, CO2. We always give example that plants gives oxygen and take carbon dioxide. So by stomata, by the tiny pores present on the surface of the leaves, the gaseous exchange occurs and loses large amount of water during transpiration and help in up flow of water. Chloroplast contain the green pigment chlorophyll, which has a pivotal role in photosynthesis. Now we are going to discuss heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition are of three types, that is holozoic, saprotrophic, parasitic. Holozoic nutrition, in which animals take in solid food and break down it inside the body, like amoeba, animals, etc. Saprotrophic heterotrophic nutrition, organisms feed on dead decaying matter, example fungi. Parasitic, parasites like inside or outside other organisms like a host and derive nutrition from it, like cuscata, plant parasite, ticks, lices, etc. Now nutrition in plants. Nutrition in plants are of 4 steps: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. Nutrition in amoeba. Amoeba has a holozoic nutrition. Thus, solid food particles are ingested which react with enzymes and are digested. It is an omnivore. Amoeba move with the help of pseudopodia, extension of cell membrane. Food vacuole is formed, undigested food is thrown out. Nutrition in human beings. The human digestive system comprises of alimentary canal and associated digestive glands. Human digestive system: first, mouth. In mouth, there are salivary glands that secrete saliva. In saliva, there are an enzyme that is known as salivary amylase, which which convert starch into sugar. In mouth, teeth is also present, which can help in chewing or grinding of food, and the tongue, which help in rolling and tasting of food. Then the food pipe, that is also known as esophagus, takes food from mouth to esophagus by parasitic movements. Parasitic movements, contraction and relaxation of food pipe is known as peristaltic movements. Now, from the esophagus, by the peristaltic movement, the food is now goes into the stomach. In stomach, there are some gastric juices like pepsin, HCl, and mucus. First, the mucus. Mucus protects the inner lining of stomach, because in stomach the acid is present which can harm the stomach. So mucus protects the inner lining of stomach. Then HCl make medium acidic. Then HCl makes the medium acidic because pepsin and helps pepsin to break down it into food into protein. Then the food is now goes in the small intestine. Small intestine, there is liver that secretes small intestine के साथ ही लगे होते हैं लीवर, पैनक्रियाज. लीवर secretes bile juice and pancreas secrete pancreatic juice. Intestinal enzymes. In small intestine, there are intestinal enzymes which convert carbohydrate into glucose, fats into fatty acid and glycerol, and protein into amino acid. Then the pancreatic juices convert trypsin into proteins and protein into peptones, and lipase is the another pancreatic juice which converts emulsified fats into fatty acid and glycerol. Then the bile juice from the liver convert large fat globules into small fat globules. Then the food goes into the large intestine, in which large intestine absorbs excess water from it. Then it goes into the rectum, temporary collection of waste, and with the help of anus we can ingest it, throw out from the body. This is all about the nutrition in human beings, and this is the diagram of human digestive system. Human digestive system, as shown in the flow chart, digestion begins from the mouth. In the mouth, it is broken down by salivary amylase. The food moves to the stomach through the esophagus, which perform peristaltic movement. Enzymes and various digestion juices from liver, gallbladder, and pancreas act on the chunks and from the stomach in the small intestine. In the large intestine, the remaining nutrients are absorbed and the leftover is removed from the body through the rectum and anus. Now we are going to discuss the process of respiration. It is a process in living organisms involving the production of energy, typically with the intake of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide from the oxidation of complex organic substances. Gaseous exchange, intake of oxygen from the atmosphere and release carbon dioxide. Breakdown of simple food in order to release energy inside the cellular respiration. Now the breakdown of glucose by various pathways. Glucose, the formula of glucose is C6H12O6. In cytoplasm, pyruvic acid plus energy. If the glucose is breakdown by pyruvic acid in the absence of oxygen, then ethanol plus carbon dioxide plus energy is formed. It is known as fermentation. Process of conversion of pyruvic acid into ethanol, CO2 and energy by yeast. And if the breakdown of glucose is in the presence of oxygen, it is in mitochondria, so it becomes CO2 plus water plus energy. And if insufficient oxygen in muscles, lactic acid plus energy. This is the accumulation of lactic acid causes muscles fatigue. It occurs after rigorous exercise, because when we go to run for about 2 or 3 days after or before, so our legs are paining. So this is due to the lactic acid is formed in our muscles that can cause muscle fatigues. Respiration is are of two type, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration takes place in the presence of oxygen, occurs in mitochondria, and products are CO2 and H2O. More amount of energy is released, 38 ATP. Anaerobic respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen, occurs in cytoplasm, and products are alcohol or lactic acid. Less amount of energy is released, 2 ATP. Human respiratory system. Passage of air through the respiratory system. Nostrils, through nostril it pass a nasal passage, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, lungs, bronchioles, and alveolar sac. Then blood capillaries. Blood capillaries takes oxygen and goes to the whole part of the body. Mechanism of breathing. Inhalation and exhalation. During inhalation, the thoracic cavity, chest cavity expands, ribs lift up, diaphragm become flat in shape, volume of lungs increases and air enters the lungs. In exhalation, thoracic cavity contracts, ribs moves downward, diaphragm become dome shaped, volume of lungs decrease and air exits from the lungs. Exchange of gases between alveoles, blood and tissues. Air rich in oxygen in alveoles, then it goes to the blood through blood vessels, capillaries, then O2 binds with hemoglobin in RBC, that is red blood cells. In red blood cells, and then O2 is released in the tissues. Second, CO2 from the tissue, CO2 into blood, CO2 released into blood, then CO2 dissolved in the blood, then blood vessels, capillaries in alveoli, then CO2 released in the alveolar sac, then CO2 is sent out through nostrils. Terrestrial organisms use atmospheric oxygen for respiration. Aquatic organisms use oxygen dissolved in water. Respiration in plants is simpler than the respiration in animals. Gaseous exchange occur through stomata in leaves, lenticels in stems, and journal surface of the roots. Transportation. Now the another life processes comes, that is transportation. Human beings like other multicellular organisms need regular supply of food, oxygen, etc. This function is performed by circulatory system or transport system. The circulatory system in human beings consists of a pumping organ, that is the heart, the blood vessel, arteries and veins, a circulatory medium, that is blood and lymph. In heart, deoxygenated blood from the body goes to vena cava, then right atrium, then right ventricle to the lungs. Then lungs to oxygenated blood goes to left atrium, then left ventricle, then aorta, and then body parts. This is the blood circulation in human heart. Section view of human heart. Double circulation. Blood travels twice through the heart in one complete cycle of the blood. Pulmonary circulation. Blood moves from the heart to the hugs and the back the heart. Systematic circulation. Blood moves from the heart to the rest of the body and back to the heart. Blood, a fluid connective tissue. Solid components, liquid components. Solid components are blood corpuscles and liquid components are plasma. Plasma, a yellow color fluid, contain 90% water and 10% organic substance like plasma, proteins, Ws, albumin, globulin, inorganic minerals, ions. Blood corpuscles are RBCs, blood platelets, WBCs. RBCs are red blood cells, carries respiratory gases like O2 and CO2, contain Hb, impart red color to the blood. Blood platelets help in the blood clotting. WBC provide body defense by gulfing the germs and producing antibodies. Lymph, a yellowish fluid that escapes from the blood capillaries into the intercellular spaces. Lymph flows from the tissues to the heart, assisting in transportation and destroying germs. Blood vessels are of two types, that is arteries and veins. Arteries carry oxygenated blood from the heart to body part except pulmonary artery, also called distributing vessel. Thick and elastic, valvas absent, deep skated. Veins carry deoxygenated blood from the body parts to heart except pulmonary vein, also called collecting vessels, thin and less elastic. Valvas present to prevent back flow of blood. Superficial. Now, transportation in plants. There are two main conducting tissue in a plant, xylem and phloem. Xylem carries water and minerals from the roots to the other parts of the plant. No energy is used. Phloem carries product of photosynthesis from leaves to the other parts of the plant. Energy is used from ATP. Transpiration is the process by which plants lose water in the form of vapors. Role of transpiration: absorption and upward movement of water and minerals by creating pull. Second, helps in temperature regulation in plant. Transcolation, transport of food from leaves, food factory to different part of the plant is called transcolation. Translocation. Now, excretion in human beings. The process of the removal of harmful metabolic waste from the body is called excretion. Excretory system of human beings includes a pair of kidney, a urinary bladder, a pair of ureter, a urethra. Process of excretion. Renal artery bring in blood containing waste substance to the kidney. Kidney filters blood. Urine produced in the kidneys passes through the ureters into the urinary bladder where it is stored until it is released through the urethra. Function of kidney. It is remove waste product from the blood. Example, urea, which is produced in the liver. Diaphragm. Each kidney has a large number of filtration units called diaphragms. Nephron is the structural and functional unit of kidney. Mechanism of urine formation. The urine formation involves 3 steps. Glomerular filtration. Blood is filtered from the glomerulus into Bowman capsule into the nephron. This filtrate passes through the tubules of the nephrons. Tubular reabsorption. Now useful substances from the filtrate like sodium, potassium, glucose, amino acid, etc. are reabsorbed by the capillaries surrounding the nephron into the blood. Secretion. Urea, extra water and salts are excreted in the tubule, which open up into the collecting duct and then into the ureter. Hemodialysis, the process of purifying blood by an artificial kidney. It is meant for kidney failure patient. Now the last topic is excretion in plants. Oxygen released during photosynthesis. H2O by transpiration. Waste may be stored in leaves, bark, etc. which fall off from the plant. Waste products stored as gums, resins in old xylem. Plant excrete some waste in the soil around them. What you have learnt. Movement of various types can be taken as the indication of life. The maintenance of life requires processes like nutrition, respiration, transport of materials within the body, and excretion of waste products. Autotrophic nutrition involves the intake of simple inorganic materials from the environment and using an external energy source like the sun to synthesize complex high energy organic material. Heterotrophic nutrition involves the intake of complex material prepared by the other organism. In human beings, the food eaten is broken down by the various steps along the alimentary canal, and the digested food is absorbed in the small intestine to be sent to the all cells in the body. During the process of respiration, complex organic compounds such as glucose are broken down to provide energy in the form of ATP. ATP is used to provide energy for other reactions in the cell. Respirations may be aerobic or anaerobic. Aerobic respiration makes more energy available to the organism. In human beings, the transport of materials such as oxygen, carbon dioxide, food, and excretory products is a function of a circulatory system. The circulatory systems consist of the heart, blood, and blood vessels. In highly differentiated plants, transport of water, minerals, foods, and other materials is a function of vascular tissue, which consists of xylem and phloem. In human being, excretory product in the form of the soluble nitrogen compounds are removed by nephrons in the kidney. Plant use a variety of techniques to get rid of the waste material. For example, waste materials may be stored in the cell vacuoles or as a gums and resins removed in the falling leaves or excreted into the surrounding soil. This is whole the chapter, the life processes. Hope you learned through it well. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Keep learning, keep safe.